Just a few months ago, Nadia from Kiev was a frequent customer in these expensive stores. But now glamour has turned into window shopping. A week before New Year, she was made redundant from her job. Nadia was told that it was because of the credit crunch. Desperate and still jobless, she does not know what to do next.
This job made my life. It gave me money to pay for my education, to buy food, to pay for the flat. It had been giving me everything I had.
Ukraine is one of the biggest victims of the world market crisis. The country's economy is almost free-falling. Unlike other Eastern European countries, Ukraine hasn't got an EU lifeline. The number of unemployed dramatically increased by 50% in January alone. The country's industry, and as a result its exports, are suffering the most.
Industry has suffered immensely, and millions in towns which depend on work at factories are left without means for survival.
In recent months, Ukraine has witnessed dozens of protests. Bakers, doctors, car owners, practically anyone you could think of has been on strike. People queued up in banks to demand easier loans. Some media describe the mood as pre-revolutionary. Kiev's famous Independence Square is again adorned with political slogans.
Геть усіх! We are against everyone, say the banners at this little tent camp on Kiev's Independence Square. A rare thing for what used to be the epicenter of the Orange Revolution. There are no different political forces taking part in the protest, only the people who are demanding a complete change of the political landscape in Ukraine.
There are no politicians here. The movement consists of ordinary people.
We want to inform other people and get them to participate in a mass act of civil protest, one aimed at changing the political elite in the country. We hope to gather at least 30,000 people.
In November last year, Kiev was granted a $16 billion loan by the International Monetary Fund. Ukraine has already called a quarter of it. But when it asked for more, the tranche was halted, according to the IMF, because of the political infighting between President Yushchenko and Prime Minister Tymoshenko.
The IMF didn't relate it directly to political instability. It said it was because the government didn't pass needed legislation for the loan to be delivered. And generally speaking, the reason is constant tensions between the President and the Prime Minister.
The two leaders started to show some solidarity when the talk of losing IMF help came up. Experts think the money may arrive sooner or later. At the same time, they still believe a default could be announced any moment, even with the loan. Nadia knows she would not see a penny of the IMF relief anyway, and she hates to think she may have to sell her beloved off-roader in order to survive. Alexei Rashevsky, RT, Kiev.